Act as if everything always works out for you. Welcome to a new way of living, where you stop hoping things will work out and start knowing they already have. See, the game changes the moment you act as if everything always works out for you. Not sometimes, not occasionally, always. This isn't about pretending or lying to yourself. It's about aligning your actions with the unshakable belief that life is rigged in your favor. When you walk in the room like the answer is already yes. Opportunities shift, people respond differently, and doors that were once closed fly open. Your mindset is the master key. Act like the outcome is guaranteed. If you want to unlock the life you've been praying for, grinding for, and dreaming about, there's one thing that must change first, and it's not your job, your money, or your circumstances. It's your mindset. Your mindset is the master key that opens every locked door in your life. When you start acting like the outcome is guaranteed, everything begins to shift. Most people live in reaction. They wait to see what happens, then they decide how to feel. But champions, they feel in advance. They move like it's already theirs. They understand something the average person doesn't. You don't get results first and then believe. You believe first and then get results. That's the real secret. You have to become the version of yourself that already has what you want. You have to walk, talk, and think from the result, not toward it. Let's be real. Most people are addicted to doubt. They've trained their minds to expect resistance, expect delay, expect problems, and because they expect it, that's exactly what shows up. But when you flip the script and act as if the outcome is already secured, the game changes. You wake up differently, you show up differently, you make decisions with authority instead of anxiety. You stop begging life for blessings and start claiming what's already yours. That's power. When you assume success, you stop hesitating. You stop overthinking. You stop asking for permission to be great. You walk in alignment with purpose, and that purpose begins to pull resources, people, and opportunities to you. Here's what most people miss. The outcome isn't just tied to what you do. It's tied to who you are while you do it. Are you doing it from fear or from faith? Are you chasing your goals like someone trying to escape failure, or like someone who's already seen the victory and is just collecting it in real time? The mindset you operate from sets the tone for everything. If you move from scarcity, you'll act small. If you move from confidence, you'll take bold steps, and life rewards boldness. The people who win are not always the most talented or the most prepared. They're the ones who dare to believe with such intensity that their belief starts bending reality. You ever notice how some people seem to always win? It's not luck, it's alignment. They've trained their minds to operate from certainty, and that certainty becomes self-fulfilling, because when you think like a winner, you take action like a winner. And when you take action like a winner, you get results like a winner. That cycle keeps reinforcing itself until success becomes your default setting, but it starts with mindset, not just positive thinking, but power thinking, the kind that refuses to make room for doubt, the kind that speaks life into every moment, the kind that says, I don't care what it looks like right now, I know how this ends. This isn't about being delusional, it's about being decisive. It's about choosing to live in a state of conviction, not confusion. Every day, you're either reinforcing fear or reinforcing faith, and whichever one you feed is the one that grows. So feed the mindset that says, I was built for this, I was born for this, my steps are ordered, my future is fixed, and I act like it, speak like it, walk like it, because I know I can't lose. When that becomes your energy, you start attracting things you don't have to chase. You start walking into rooms you once felt unqualified for. You start seeing evidence of your belief because you finally aligned your mindset with your mission. Imagine what would happen if, just for 1 week, you acted like everything always works out for you. What would you stop worrying about? What would you finally start doing? Who would you reach out to? What investment would you make in yourself? What fear would you drop because it has no place in the future you're building? See, it's not that success is unavailable. It's that most people never give themselves permission to operate like it's already done. But once you do, once you flip that switch and stop waiting for proof, life will start to give you the very evidence you've been missing. So let this be the moment you stop negotiating with doubt. Let this be the season you shift your identity from "I hope it works" to "it's already working." Don't just hope for favor, expect it. Don't just wish for alignment, walk in it. Don't just dream, decide. Because when you decide that everything always works out for you and you act from that place daily, the world has no choice but to respond accordingly. The outcome is already done. It's your mindset that needs to catch up. Act like it's guaranteed, and soon enough it will be. You don't get what you want. You get what you expect, so expect favor, not failure. Let's get one thing straight. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you expect. You can want success, happiness, wealth, peace all day long, but if deep down you expect struggle, rejection, disappointment, and delay, that's exactly what you're going to keep attracting. Expectation is the engine that drives your results. It's the invisible force behind every decision you make, every risk you take or avoid, and every door that opens or closes. See, the reason most people don't rise is not because they don't want more, but because they secretly believe they're not meant for more. And that hidden expectation becomes their limit. But when you shift your inner narrative and start expecting favor, not failure, everything begins to move in your favor. Let's break this down. Every time you wake up in the morning and expect something good to happen, you put your energy into alignment with opportunity. That's not just a motivational slogan, it's a law. Life responds to your dominant expectations. If you walk into a meeting expecting to be overlooked, you'll subconsciously shrink yourself. If you approach a business opportunity expecting it to fail, you'll sabotage before you even start. But when you begin to carry an attitude of divine expectation, like something good is always happening for me, I attract breakthroughs, I was born to win, you raise your frequency and begin to pull in what once felt out of reach. You don't just want the win, you expect the win, and don't confuse this with arrogance. This is not about entitlement, it's about alignment. It's about understanding that you were never meant to live at the mercy of fear or survival mode thinking. It's about refusing to settle for average just because most people around you do. When you expect favor, you show up with a different presence, your posture changes, your voice carries more authority. You stop pleading and start preparing, because when you know good things are coming, you start building space for them. You don't prepare for drought when you're expecting rain, and if you're expecting overflow, you won't live like you're barely getting by. Think about it. What if your next breakthrough isn't waiting on your next effort, but on your next expectation? What if the reason things haven't shifted yet is because you're still approaching life like it owes you struggle? Listen closely. Your expectations are like orders you send into the world. If you're constantly saying, "Things never work out for me, and nothing ever goes my way, I'm just trying to survive," then survival, struggle, and stress are going to keep showing up like clockwork. But if you flip the script and say, "Everything always works out in my favor, doors open for me, I live in overflow," then that becomes your new normal, not because you faked it, but because you expected it long enough for your reality to rise up and match your belief. This is the difference between living by default and living by design. Most people are letting their expectations be shaped by their past, by their failures, by what others say, by what hasn't worked. But your past doesn't get to prophesy your future. Your faith does. You have to get bold enough to expect miracles even if you've only known mess. You've got to start expecting victory even if all you've seen is loss. Because expectation is the bridge between belief and manifestation. When you expect favor, you activate favor. When you expect overflow, you prepare for it. And when you prepare for it, life delivers. Let's go deeper. Expectation influences how you interpret life. Two people can go through the same delay. One sees it as a setback, the other sees it as setup. One says, "I knew it wouldn't work." The other says, "Something better must be on the way." That mindset difference isn't just cute, it's critical. Because the one who expects favor is the one who's going to stay in the game long enough to win. The one who expects failure will tap out early, miss the blessing, and call it fate. But you're not built for that. You weren't designed to bow down to fear. You're wired for victory, but you've got to expect it on a soul level before you ever see it with your eyes. And no, this doesn't mean life won't throw you curveballs. You'll still face tests, setbacks, delays. But when your expectation is locked in favor, you start interpreting setbacks as strategies. You say things like, "Even this is working for my good. That door closed because something greater is coming." Or if I didn't get that, it means I was being protected or positioned. See how that works. Favor isn't just about things going your way. It's about having the perspective to believe that even detours are divine. That's the power of expectation. It turns obstacles into opportunities, pain into purpose, and delays into direction. So here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, expect favor like it's your job. Wake up every morning saying, "Something good is going to happen to me today." Go into every room like you belong there. Show up for every opportunity like it's already aligned. Stop hoping for favor. Expect it. Make it your standard. And if your environment doesn't support that mindset, upgrade your environment. If your circle doesn't speak that language, change your circle, because nothing shifts until your expectation does. Your next level isn't waiting on more hustle, it's waiting on higher belief. And when your belief shifts, your whole life starts catching up. Expect favor and favor will expect you. Confidence isn't built on results, it's built on belief before the results show up. Let's settle this right now. Confidence doesn't come from results. It's not born from applause, approval, or success. It's not the product of winning. True confidence is built before the win. It's forged in the unseen moments when there's no evidence, no validation, no outcome, just belief. It's the unshakable trust you place in yourself, your purpose, your process, and the one who gave it to you. Even when the scoreboard says you're losing. See, people are waiting for the results to feel confident, but that's backward. Results come after belief, not before it. The world rewards certainty, and if you don't carry it before you win, you won't win at all, because confidence isn't something you gain. It's something you decide. Think about it. The most powerful people in the world aren't the smartest or the most talented. They're the most certain. They walk into rooms like they belong, speak like they already won, move like the outcome is already settled. Why? Because they've learned the truth that most never figure out. Confidence isn't reactive, it's proactive. It's not based on proof, it's based on perspective. You have to choose to believe in the promise before it shows up in your reality. You've got to talk like the contract is signed, even when the ink isn't dry. You've got to walk like the opportunity is already yours, even when your hands are still empty. That's the type of confidence that creates results, not the other way around. Most people are walking around waiting for the world to tell them they're valuable, waiting for a job title to make them feel important, waiting for money to feel secure, waiting for a platform to feel heard. But the truth is, if you don't believe in you before the win, you'll sabotage the win when it shows up, because you'll feel like you don't deserve it. Confidence is built when no one is clapping, when no one sees you, when no one's calling your name. But you still show up, still speak up, still believe up. That's when your confidence becomes unshakable. Because it's no longer based on circumstances, it's anchored in identity. Let me be real with you. If you can't see yourself winning when the scoreboard is blank, you're not ready for the win. You've got to develop a kind of inner confidence that's independent of results. That says, I know who I am, and I know what I carry, and I don't need permission to walk in power. Because if you're constantly measuring yourself by what you can see, you'll always live small. But when you start measuring yourself by what's inside of you, by your vision, your calling, your conviction, everything about how you move changes. You don't walk like someone chasing a dream, you walk like someone delivering destiny. And understand this, the process is not meant to build results first. The process is meant to build you. Confidence is the muscle you grow when you keep showing up in uncertainty, when you keep speaking even when your voice shakes, when you keep investing when the return isn't visible yet, when you keep preparing like the opportunity is guaranteed, even when no one's knocking yet. That's when real confidence is built, not when the audience is full, but when the room is empty. Not when the product is perfect, but when you're still figuring it out. Confidence is born in action, not in applause, and the more you act on belief, the more solid your confidence becomes. You have to get to a place where your belief is louder than your doubt, where your vision is stronger than your fear, where your faith drowns out the facts, because here's the truth. If you only believe when things look good, you don't have confidence. You have convenience. But when you believe before the breakthrough, when you stand in faith while you're still in the fire, that's when you become unstoppable. That's when heaven and earth start to move in your favor, because belief like that is magnetic. It pulls results out of places you didn't even know existed. It opens doors that others can't see. It creates momentum that no opposition can stop. And let's be clear, confidence isn't about being loud or flashy. It's about being grounded. It's not ego, it's evidence of faith. It's walking into every situation knowing I don't have to chase because what's mine is already making its way to me. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means fear doesn't get to make the final decision. It means even in the face of resistance, you keep showing up like it's already handled. That's the posture of someone who wins, someone who's already decided how the story ends. So stop waiting for the results to believe. Decide to believe before the results. Start moving like you're already chosen. Start preparing like the door is already open. Start speaking like the answer is already yes. Because the truth is, confidence isn't the product of success. Success is the product of confidence. And when you move in belief before you see the blessing has no choice but to catch up. Walk in it now, own it now, believe it now. Because if you can carry confidence in the middle of uncertainty, you're already operating like a champion. And it's only a matter of time before the world sees what you've known all along. Speak your success in advance. Your mouth is a magnet for your miracles. Let's make something crystal clear. If you're waiting for success to show up before you start speaking like it's yours, you're already late. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you expect, and your expectations are revealed by your words. Your mouth is not just a tool, it's a magnet. What you consistently speak, you eventually see. This is not hype, this is alignment. When you speak your success in advance, you're not lying to yourself. You're leading yourself. You're pulling your future into the present by using the most powerful force you've been given, your voice. That voice has the authority to create, the boldness to command, and the weight to shift atmospheres. If you walk around talking about what you lack, what's missing, and what's broken, guess what? Life will mirror that. But when you start speaking like favor already found you, like doors are already open, like abundance is chasing you down, you're not pretending, you're prophesying, you are placing a demand on the invisible and giving it permission to manifest in the physical. See, what most people miss is that success starts in your mouth before it ever shows up in your life. Every high, achieving destiny-driven purpose, pushing individual talks like they've already arrived before the world even knows their name. That's not arrogance, that's spiritual strategy. They don't speak based on their current bank account, current following, or current circumstances. They speak based on where they're going, and the world starts responding accordingly. If your voice is filled with hesitation, doubt, and fear, don't be surprised when your life becomes a reflection of that. But when your voice is filled with expectation, conviction, and clarity, now you're dangerous. Now you're creating momentum. Now you're walking in authority, because every time you open your mouth with intention, you're sending a signal that your faith is active and your future is under construction. Your words are not just sounds, they are signals. Every declaration you make is either drawing your break through closer or pushing it away. That's why the discipline of speaking success is non-negotiable. You've got to make it part of your routine, your rhythm, your reality. Speak it when you wake up, speak it in the car, speak it in the mirror, speak it when things are going right, and especially when they're going wrong. Because the test of true belief is consistency, not convenience. Anyone can speak well when things are flowing, but can you speak favor when you feel forgotten? Can you declare overflow when you're staring at lack? Can you say, "I'm next," when life looks like you've been left behind? That's where power lives. Not in the easy declarations, but in the uncomfortable ones. The game changes when you stop describing your life and start directing it. You are not a reporter. You are the architect. Don't use your voice to broadcast problems. Use your voice to broadcast prophecy. Call those things that are not as though they already are. Speak like it's already done. Walk like it's already won. Move like the contract is already signed. That energy, that frequency, that conviction, it turns the invisible into the inevitable. You've got to talk big, think big, and expect big. Not because it looks that way yet, but because your future is already settled and your words are catching up to it. Speak like the most blessed, favored, unstoppable version of yourself is already here, because that version of you is waiting on your mouth to unlock the door. Listen, if you're still speaking from where you are, you'll stay where you are. But if you dare to speak from where you're headed, you'll accelerate the arrival. Don't let your current situation silence your future declaration. The fact that you can't see it doesn't mean it's not on the way. It means you're in the process of creating it. Through your consistency, your commitment, and yes, through your confession. Your voice is an instrument. Tune it to faith, tune it to victory, tune it to power, and then keep speaking until what you've been saying starts showing up in every area of your life. Here's the truth. Most people sabotage their own destiny with casual conversation. They joke about being broke, they complain about the weight, they vent about the pressure, and those words become cycles. But you're different. You don't talk like the rest. You don't speak defeat. You speak destiny. You declare your wins before they arrive. You speak with the boldness of someone who knows that heaven is backing every word. That's why you say things like, "I attract opportunities daily. I walk in divine timing. I am built for abundance. I am the answer to someone's prayer," and every time you do, you're rewiring your identity and reprogramming your results. So here's your assignment: no more idle talk, no more casual complaints, no more small language. From now on, your voice is your tool, your weapon, your declaration of war against mediocrity. Speak like the vision is already fulfilled. Speak like the results are already showing up. Speak like the alignment has already happened. Speak with gratitude in advance. Speak from conviction, not from condition, because the condition will change, but your conviction must stay steady. Speak until the door opens. Speak until the contract lands. Speak until the healing manifests. Speak until your future has no choice but to match your faith, because at the end of the day, your mouth is not just a mirror of your mind, it's the motor that moves your life. Speak your success in advance and let the world adjust to your expectation. Act as if everything always works out for you. Walk like you already won. Let me tell you something powerful. When you decide to act as if everything always works out for you, you stop playing defense and start living on offense. You stop waiting for life to confirm your worth, and you begin walking like the outcome is already fixed in your favor. that mindset, that decision, it changes everything. Because the truth is, most people don't lose in life because of failure. They lose because they hesitate. They lose because they only move when things look safe, sound, and secure. But winners, real winners, they walk into every room, every opportunity, every storm with the attitude that no matter what happens, it's going to benefit them. And because they believe that, life moves to match it. When you act like things are working for you, life responds like it is, because life is not reacting to your situation. It's reacting to your spirit. And your spirit follows your posture. So when you stand tall, walk bold, speak faith, and move like you always win, the universe starts bending in your direction, not because of luck, but because of law, the law of faith, alignment, and authority. Acting as if doesn't mean faking it. It means faithing it. It means showing up like the result is guaranteed, even if the road is rough. It means dressing like the deal is already done. It means walking like the breakthrough has already dropped. It means talking like the check has already cleared. You don't sit around waiting on signs. You become the sign. You don't beg for doors to open. You walk up like the door belongs to you. You're not here to impress. You're here to impose, imposing your belief on your environment, imposing your identity on your circumstances, imposing your spirit on your situation, because once you've decided that it all works out for you, nothing can shake you, not delays, not detours, not even disappointment. You may feel the hit, but you don't lose the vision. You keep walking, you keep talking, you keep moving like the outcome is already written, and it is. See, most people are addicted to evidence. They want proof before they praise. But the bold, the committed, the called, they praise before they see it. They move before it manifests. They smile in the middle of the test because they already know the testimony is coming. That's power. That's posture. That's the difference between those who barely survive and those who live like they're sent. When you act as if everything works out for you, you stop reacting to the current and start responding to the calling. You stop being afraid of what if it fails and start getting excited about what if it works. You don't fold when it gets heavy, you focus. You don't complain when it gets hard, you command the atmosphere with your conviction. Because once you believe that everything is working out for you, you stop doubting every delay. You start trusting the timing. You stop seeing problems and start spotting preparation. This mindset turns fear into fuel. It turns obstacles into options. It turns waiting rooms into birthing rooms. You don't see rejection as a dead end. You see it as divine redirection. You don't interpret silence as being stuck. You see it as a season of setup. Because you've already settled in your soul that you are not here to chase. It's already chasing you. The blessings, the contracts, the connections, the opportunities, the answers, they're on the way. And every time you take a step, you're proving that belief is not just something you feel. It's something you do. It's how you show up. It's how you carry yourself. It's how you respond to the unexpected. It's how you own the room before they even know your name. You don't wait for support. You support yourself with certainty. You don't need applause. You've already approved your assignment. Let me be real. Acting as if is not about denial. It's about dominion. It's not about pretending that things don't go wrong. It's about believing that even when they do, it still turns in your favor. It's about living with the confidence that the pieces are falling into place even when they look scattered. You are not confused. You're being crafted. You are not overlooked. You're being overhauled. You are not behind. You're being positioned. You are not lost. You're being led. That's the language of someone who acts like everything works out for them. That's how kings and queens move. That's how warriors think. That's how legacy builders walk, head high, faith full, heart strong, and eyes forward. So what do you do when things look uncertain? You walk like it's certain. What do you do when it gets quiet? You speak louder with your steps. What do you do when you feel resistance? You smile and push harder. Why? Because it has to work out for you. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's already decided. So you live with the kind of faith that makes people uncomfortable, the kind of boldness that breaks cycles, the kind of confidence that commands the moment. That's the version of you the world is waiting for. Not the version that doubts, delays, or second guesses, but the version that shows up ready, the version that shows up like the next level already belongs to them. So from this moment forward, no more shrinking. No more hesitation, no more waiting for permission. Act like it's happening, walk like you're chosen, show up like the favor is on you, live like the breakthrough is behind the next step. Because when you act as if everything works out for you, guess what? Eventually it does, not because you faked it, not because you forced it, but because you faithed it. You walked in alignment, you spoke with authority, you moved like it was already yours, and life had no choice but to catch up.